NetSuite Planning and Budgeting provides to plan our operating expenses. So into operating expenses card, we're going to open template. You can see here I have a wider view. It could be minimized if you want to see the menus on the top, or maximized if we want to focus on it. You can see the application provides a vertical and horizontal navigation. On the first tab, we are seeing the planning side where we can input our expenses. And on the second, we will look on the dashboarding where we could do reports and analyzing of the data. Planning or inputting our data can be done in multiple ways. You can see that it could be based on different legal entities of the company. It could be in different input currencies or by different departments. All of this data being then consolidated at the company level, at total department, and so on. So this is one of the advantages of working with a consolidating tool, that you will be able to edit slices of data by department, by legal entity, depending on the controller who's operating the data. And all of this data is consolidated into a centralized system which works in a collaborative manner. So, and of course, all of these departments or accounts, now we are looking on administrator view, so I am able to see all of them, but there could be security created in place. So each of the controller would have their own view as per their needs for performing their planning. So let's say an HR person will be able to see just their department. A salesperson will be able to see just their department, and so on. And a financial controller who reviews all of the departments will be able to review the entire data set. All right, how can we input the forecast and how can we plan the data? We could see we have a section of actuals, which brings us the NetSuite data from the ERP, and we have the forecast where we could plan our future expenses. Forecasting the data or planning it can be done in different methods. One of them is using trends based on the actuals, and there are defined in the framework different trends that we could choose for planning our data. So I'm choosing here for 6 months rolling. When I hit the save, my forecast data is adjusted based on the 6 months rolling forecast. Another possibility for inputting the data in here is a manual forecast. Maybe we don't have choose a manual and we do input manually the data. You can see it's automatically consolidated. You can see this light yellow where we're showing we are updating some data, but we didn't save this yet in the database. So only after we hit save, the data is pushed to the database. And after we finish our planning in here, we will need to run the aggregate to income statement. Why we are doing this? Because we are working in a collaborative system. So when we are running this aggregate to income statement calculation, the data will be pushed up by total department, by total legal entities. So whenever someone else is looking at the expenses, they will see already our updated values in here. There are some other powerful options that we could use in our planning in here. You can see I have highlighted this cell, and there is a comment saying the cell has a comment and contains supporting details. These are two functionalities that the platform offers, and they could be helpful while planning the data. The supporting details, it allows you to add additional details about your data. So you enrich uh, the context of the data that you have. So for example, for equipment leases, I have a split of what type of equipment I used for the leases. You can add even more. So in this way, you will see how your data is composed of. All right. Then the comment side, you can add the comments in here. So maybe you as an HR department, you want to put to make some notes. For example, here we can see that the rent has increased starting October, and we do have a comment saying there was a new office opening. This was the cause of the rent increase. So we could add such comments in our planning data. We don't need to send out emails. We don't need to work on chat offline. Everything is in this collaborative platform of the application. And there could also be added attachments from the computer. So this is how we could work with this data. Drill into accounts details. It goes into more details from your actuals for this account. So it's jumping into more details of the account. All right, so we have seen now two methods of editing the planning or the forecast data. One was based on the trends and the other one was the manual input. Let's see what's happening next. So we can see we have here the department, we have here the expenses. And then here we could add even more additional support details if we want on the details line or add more details lines for any kind of the details that we need to add to support our planning. After we do that, you can see how we navigate on the horizontal path. Another way of adjusting our forecast is using the predictive planning. The predictive planning is similar with what we've seen in the auto predict. Use these mechanisms of predicting the forecast based on the actuals.